How y'all doing? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Coming on live. It's been a minute. I want to get this thing back up and going. I'm going to challenge myself to be on here a lot more moving forward. But if you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. It's midnight. This is when I come alive. So if you can hear me, leave a comment in the comment section. It's going to be a good one tonight. Keto, honey, how are you? Rosemary, how are you doing? Tiffany, how are you? Kelsey B, how are you? Theo, how's it going? What have y'all been up to? Danikia, how are you? How's y'all's, what is it? We are about to end the second quarter of 2021. Wait, hey, Arnita mentioned you this morning. Glad I caught the live. Really? What did Arnita say about me? If Arnita spoke about me, that's great company. Isaiah, how are you? But yeah, we're about to end the second quarter of 2021, y'all. Like literally the first half of this year has gone like this. What have y'all accomplished? What have you done with your business or even in your personal life in this first half of the year? The revenue goals that you set for yourself for the full year, how are you? Like, how are you tracking, right? Are you halfway there? Are you a little bit under the halfway mark? And if so, what do you have planned to get to that revenue amount that you have set? I had some lofty goals, and I'm not there at the halfway mark, so I got to turn it up these last 6 months, right? I got to make it happen. But there's a lot of vacations and certain trips and travels that are planned that I got to make sure that before I go on these trips or whatever I do, that I make sure that I have everything in order, because what tends to happen for me is whenever I travel or just take some time off, I lose steam. I lose that motivation, right? And then whenever you come back from the travel, you got to get yourself worked back up. You got to get yourself focused up again, right? So I want to make sure that, I plan everything out. Kiara, how's it going? Keto Honey said she told us to follow you and said you're amazing. Oh, man, that's amazing. Shout out to Arnita for that. She's the amazing one. We'll talk about her later. Miss Lane B, how are you? Old Lady Hustler said making more money but still in a financial mess. Really? Really? That's something that can be fixed, though. You can definitely fix that. Mrs. Lane B said, Arnita sent me as well, told me to follow you. Oh, that's amazing. Shout out to Arnita for that. I appreciate her. Kiara, how are you? My late night twin. So yeah, let's dive deep real quick. Well, not too deep because it's midnight where I'm at. For some of you, it might be 10 o'clock if you're on the West Coast. And then for some of you that are on the East Coast, it's 1 a.m. in the morning. But where are you so far within like your goals for the whole year? Are you halfway? Like, we're at the halfway mark. Would you say that you are halfway into your goal revenue, or just anything that you had planned, like any goals you had? Like, where are you with that? Have you been hitting those goals? Are you kind of falling short? If you are falling short, it's okay. We still got 6 months left. It's a lot of time left to make things happen. And even if you don't hit all the goals that you have set for this year, 2021, you got 2022 coming up. There's still time. But one thing that I've learned is that in business, you have to plan, right? You have to definitely set a plan and really map everything out. And Isaiah knows exactly what I'm talking about because he's the master planner. But you got to plan these things out, right? When we look at 2022, honestly, I would say to start planning for 2022 in October. A lot of people, we kind of wait till January to start planning the full year, right? And then by the time we wait till January of that current year, it's too late for the most part sometimes. You're kind of just freestyling, right? But if you take a few months in the previous year to plan for the next year, it's setting you up really, really well. Danikia said, 2020 wore me out, but I'm making it. Okay. 2020 wore out a lot of us, man. It was a crazy, but everything's back. You're in what, Louisiana? So things should probably back open where you're at. Kara said, laughing out loud, right? I'm amazing. Just got off live myself. It's 1 a.m. here. I'm only 10% there. Time to turn up. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Danica said, got bigger goals. Nice. For those of you who actually made goals for 2021, drop some of your goals in the comment section. Let's share our goals. You don't have to talk about revenue goals if you don't want to, but just talk about some of the goals you have set. After I read through some of these comments, then I'll talk about some of my goals that I have set for the year 2021 and, how that's been going. But Miss Lane B said, I'm a little short of my goals, but it's okay. So I've been going harder. Nice, nice. I've been reading more, trying to read 5 to 6 books a month. That's amazing. That is amazing. That's shout out to you for that. Keto Honey says, definitely falling short right now, but in positive energy and spirits. Yes. It's good to set goals, and even if you don't hit them, or if you're not close to hitting them, as long as you have that goal and you have it in sight, right? I like to write down my goals and put it somewhere visible where I can see them every day. I think that's important because it reminds you, it gets you hungry again. Also, things like professional development. If you don't have like someone pouring into you and you pouring into somebody, if you don't have any kind of coaching around you, that's important, a lot of times, because a lot of this stuff we're trying to figure out on our own. There's so much stuff in business that I've learned through, my association with people, with other people who are doing business, having mentors. All those things are super important, and it'll help accelerate where you are in your business. Isaiah said, this is the best year of my life. That's dope, bro. That's amazing to hear. Danica said, did amazing financially in 2020, but was full throttle. 2020 was a great year, and especially for all of us in the finance field. If you didn't take advantage of 2020, hey, but at the same time, there's always going to be, I'm a firm believer that there's always going to be opportunity, right? So even in the event that we miss certain opportunities, there's going to be more opportunities that are going to arise that will, hopefully put ourselves in a great position to take advantage of. So in the time, I look back to 2008, 2009. If y'all remember that time frame, the economy was doing extremely bad, but there was a lot of people that got very wealthy during that time frame. During that time frame, I was nowhere financially in a good place, but I saw everything that was happening around me, and I took note because I said, you know what, the next time something like that happens again, I need to be prepared financially or just mentally, so that way I can take advantage of whatever happens around me. And I honestly, 2020 was one of those kind of years, but the government did a decent job in pumping money into the economy to help a lot of us stay afloat. But at some point, a lot of that's going to be taken back, right? At some point, a lot of people that can't afford to pay rent, they're going to start evicting. The economy is going to take a hit at some point. Are we ready financially or mentally, right, to weather the storm that might happen? Are we ready financially to take advantage of opportunities? So those are the things that, planning, being prepared, looking at the history, right? Things that have happened in the course of history. Every so many years, the economy goes down, and it goes down bad, right? Are we in that good position to take advantage? Chastity, how are you? Theo says, starting new accounting class, accounting research towards master's in accounting. Nice. Isaiah said, build out my in-house content team. I love it. I need to do the same. Kara says she wants to help 10 people make 6 figures and my business to bring in $500,000 before 2022. I love that. Very detailed and succinct. Danikia says her goal is launching physical products, scaling online courses and products. Nice. She VIP, how are you? Chioma, how are you? Mrs. Lane says we have to start preparing now. Definitely. Danica says planning and preparing for sure. Keto says, yes, I believe the economy is about to crash. Goal this year was to buy more gold silver, and at least 5 Ethereum. I love it. I love it. Ebony, how are you? Prince, how are you? So yeah, for those of y'all who are just coming on, we're talking about pretty much, did you have goals for 2021, right? We're in 2021, literally the second quarter. The first half of this year is about to end in the next few days, right? Which means that we have quarter 3 and quarter 4 left. We have 6 more months, the second half of this year remaining. Where are we with our goals that we've had set, right? And if we didn't set any goals, is it too late to set goals for 2021? I don't think so. I still think that you can easily tonight, before you go to bed, or tomorrow morning, you can take out a pen and paper, write down a list of goals that you have for this second half of the year, right? For me, what are some of the goals that I want to attain in the second half of the year? I would say I want to hire at least 2 to 3 more people, minimum. Want to hire a senior tax accountant. I want to hire a couple more accountants. Because I want to definitely ramp up, right? As we continue to scale, as we continue to bring on more business, we got to be prepared for all of that, right? If we're not prepared, then that's where bottlenecks start to happen. That's where things start to happen, right? I also want to hire somebody to come in and do employee trainings for my team. That's going to happen. We hired someone to help us do marketing. That, Facebook ads, that's been okay, but it hasn't really taken off like it should. So even exploring bringing in some additional help in that space. Hiring someone to help take over my social media marketing, email marketing. So there's for me, a lot of the goals are centered around hiring, right? Because I've learned that I can't do it all, right? You definitely need help. So what's the point of making money in your business if you're not improving the quality of your life, right? If you're not also impacting the community by hiring and training and giving opportunities, that's a big part, I feel, of being a business owner and an entrepreneur. Let me read some of the comments. We got Ebony says, hey, I'm okay, thank you. Nice. Red Rose, Sherika, Sean, how are y'all? By Bless says, we'll definitely be doing that tomorrow. My one goal is to get you as my accountant. Hope to hear from you this week. Haha. Nice. If you, I don't know if you filled out our client form, but if you go into my, there's a link in my bio and it says, is EFS Group a good fit? Fill that out, schedule your appointment. We'll definitely talk. Exquisite Sohi, I think. How are you? Carmen, what's up? Prince said, I met my goal of switching my career to tech. Nice, man. I remember we spoke about that briefly a few days ago. That's dope. And then Miss Lane B says, that's really amazing. So for those of y'all who are just coming on, we're talking about goals that we've set for 2021. Where are we exactly within those goals? Because half the year is pretty much over. We have the 6 months left. Random. But has anybody felt like these years have just been flying by? Like, I remember growing up and the years would move so slowly, especially when you're in junior high, high school, elementary school. And it's like as soon as you graduate high school or you get into your 20s, the years just start flying. And before you know it, it's like, wow. Like I remember this part of my life succinctly, but now it's 15 years later. It's crazy. But, it's so important to sit back and just enjoy where you're at, right? Sit back and enjoy how far you've come, all the things that you've accomplished. I know a lot of times, especially for someone like myself, I always look at things that I could have done to improve and get better. And some people would say that I beat myself up, right? But I don't really look at that. But I look at it as I'm always trying to find ways to improve it and get better. But at the same time, I rarely step back and I look at the things that I've accomplished or that me and my team have accomplished. And I think that's important to keep you going. It's important to just realize that, hey, all the work that you're doing is not in vain and you're actually making a difference and you're making things happen. Prince said 2020 felt like a decade. Welcome Accounting, how are you? Chastity and Miss Lane B said, oh my God, yes. Janelle's mommy, how are you? But yeah, it's you know, we gotta give thanks for even being here, right? Because I don't, did y'all hear about what happened in Miami? That's sad. That's sad, y'all. A condo on Miami Beach collapsed recently, like last week, and they're saying like 150 people are still unaccounted for, and 11 people have passed away. And it's like whenever you think about things like that, you got to give thanks for where for being alive, for being where you are in your life. So even if you are not reaching certain goals, if you feel like you're probably struggling, the fact that you're even chasing, that you're making goals and you're chasing them is extremely important. And it's like every day we wake up, we are blessed to have another opportunity, right? To keep going, to keep doing our thing. So I think stuff like that's important. It's important to really reflect and to just, be thankful. But yeah, if y'all have any more goals that y'all set, let me know in the comment section so we can discuss. But, I think 2021 has been a rather decent year. I think it's been a good year for me so far. I still haven't hit certain goals that I do want to hit, but it's definitely, I still have a lot of time left within the year. So I'm thankful for that. Wilcom Accounting says, so sad, I'm in Florida, not that far from the condo. So grateful. Oh, wow, you're in the South Beach, Miami area? That's crazy. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. And it makes you think, like, whenever things like this happen, I always think about what could have been done to prevent those things. Who was there somebody that, let's say they were supposed to turn in a report and they didn't turn in a report, and now that caused so many lives. Like, what happened? Where was the ball dropped within that whole situation? Why wasn't that caught? And Keto said they warned them since 2018 about that building inspection. That's crazy. And I read that, like, they were warned since 2018. That's 3 years ago. And, they'd probably say, well, the pandemic happened in 2020. But I don't know about y'all, but in 2020, when the pandemic was happening, you know how you still had to drive to go to the grocery store or to go somewhere? Everywhere I drove, the streets, the highways were empty, but the construction people were still working. Like, whenever you drive through Houston, there's so many new roads built. There's so many new things that have been built in 2020. So obviously they're essential workers, but they didn't take any time off. They still had to work. So I say that to say, the people in that space, were they working during that time? Did they have the opportunity to right the wrongs that they discovered in 2018? New Jersey Queen 84, how are you? Mikkel, how are you? Keto says, so sad. Some landlords don't care. They won't put money into the safety of their properties. And that's the thing. If you're going to own real estate, especially at that level, you got to be mindful of what's going on. That's a scary responsibility. Like, imagine being the owner of that condo and this happens. Like, are you beating yourself up? Like, is there something, are you thinking about, wow, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? I wonder what's going through the owner's heads, right? Because it's a serious matter. People's lives are at stake, So it's unfortunate. And, we just pray that the other people that were in that hopefully are able to be rescued. Although they did say 150 people are unaccounted for. And that's tragic. It's tragic, man. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen the next day, right? But you just got to give thanks. But, yeah, I just wanted to come on real quick, just talk about goals for 2021 and how you're doing with the goals. Where are you within your goal setting for this year? And, I definitely want to start coming on here more regularly. I know during the pandemic, I was on here a lot. And I've kind of fallen off because things have gotten busy or whatnot. But, I appreciate all y'all for coming on. Joel, how are you? And if any of y'all want to come on and discuss, let me know too. I'll bring you on, and we can definitely talk about this. But the topic is goal setting, right? You know, where are you in 2021 with the goals that you set or for your business? You know, have you reached, we're at the halfway mark of the year pretty much. Have you reached the goals you set for the first 2 quarters of the year? And if not, what are you doing to reach those goals, hopefully in quarter 3 and quarter 4, right? For those of you who are on the goals that you set for this year, do you have it written down somewhere or do you just keep it stored in your mind? How do you handle goal setting? For me, like I was saying earlier, I like to write my goals down on either a sheet of paper or I'll put it on, let's say, on my computer. We also do planning meetings where we flesh out a lot of goals. Me, Rita, and Jerry, who's also like a senior member of our team, we do an annual planning meeting where we talk about, and this meeting is like literally a whole day, actually a whole couple days, 2 days, where we'll talk about what are the strengths of our company, what are the weaknesses of our company, what are the opportunities that we have on the horizon, and then what are the threats, right? So that's called a SWOT analysis, SWOT. Google that and make sure that you do that for your company. But you go over your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, right? So strengths would be obviously, what are you doing fairly well within the company that you have operating? What are the strengths? What are things that you do that separate you from everybody else? Weaknesses would be obviously, what are the weaknesses of your company? What are the areas that you feel need to be improved? Opportunities would be, what are some growth opportunities that you have potentially that could take your company to the next level? And then threats obviously is, what are some things that could potentially stop the ascension of your business? So obviously threats would be things like, let's say you have employees that are really, really good and they're very key to your business and they decide to leave your company. That's a threat. Also, another threat would be if you are, let's say, a virtual company like myself, and you don't have the proper insurances or cybersecurity expert, right? Then now your company is susceptible to hacking, right? So if your files are hacked, that's a huge problem that could potentially put you out of business. All those things are threats, and you have to be forward thinking. You have to constantly think of, what are the things that could potentially happen that could really stop where you're trying to go? What are you strong at? What are you weak at? And then constantly review these things each quarter, right? Also, what is your 3-year plan? What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan, right? A lot of times we get into business, we don't really plan things out and we're just kind of freestyling. We're just trying to make money, right? But if you follow me, I'm all about building a business that you can exit, running business the proper way, doing things the right way. Um, I've been doing this now for 12 years as far as in business, right? Was I always like this? No, I wasn't. I was doing business janky back in the day. I didn't know better, right? But as you grow, as you are in business long enough, you're supposed to get better. You're supposed to do things differently. Your mind is supposed to grow, right? So these are things that, I want that we get our clients, well, we don't necessarily get them to do, but we're going to start putting it into them, right? A lot of times people think that, okay, you're just an accountant, you're just a bookkeeper, you just do payroll. But I feel like what we do in our strengths is much deeper and greater than those things. I feel like we really come in and we help our clients when it comes to advisory, right? So these are things that I want to do for clients that we are currently doing that hopefully will set us apart from everybody else, right? Why should people come to me? Or to my company? There's thousands of companies out there that do what we do. you know, and it's like you have to always figure those things out. But I know I see Brittany said, this is great. I've never heard of this. Make sure you send me a message. I'll send you some stuff, Brittany. Brittany is one of our really amazing clients. Y'all should check out her business. It's called Taste Vita. Go on Instagram and follow her. She's doing amazing. She literally just started her business like little over a year ago, and she's like shooting through the roof. So shout out to Brittany. Um, Sweet Nia, how are you? Joel says, "Hey, E, I usually write down my goals and work towards them. Work towards how I'm going to execute them." Nice, nice. And then Wilcom Accounting says, "I have them written down in the book and a whiteboard in my office." Nice, love it. And then Keto says, "Thank you, appreciate this." Made me think more about setting goals. I got to jump off. Thanks again. Yeah, that's what it's about, right? It's really about when you have information, share it with people, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that I've learned wasn't stuff that was just that I was born with, right? I had to figure out a lot of things. I had to seek a lot of information. And it's like you're going out there, you're seeking all this information, you're trying to get better at business, but a lot of times the information is all over the place. It's really hard to just really bring together, right? So it's like, okay, who is online that's really talking about business, right? Who's not just talking about marketing, who's not just talking about how to make money, but who's talking about overall how to better your business and really improve. So that's what it's all about, man. If you have information, definitely share it. Prince says daily affirmations and a vision board help a lot. Nice, nice. I'm definitely going to implement that for sure. But yeah, if y'all got some value out of this, let me know in the comment section. Because when I'm doing this, I'm just talking. I see the comments, but sometimes it feels like you're talking to yourself, and I'm a very conversational person. So, you know, if there's some value that you're getting out of this, definitely let me know in the comments. And, you know, we'll definitely do more of these down the line, you know. And if there's anything that you want me to go deeper into, let me know as well. Another thing, if you're not following me on YouTube, definitely subscribe to my channel. Um, it's in my link in my bio. Definitely subscribe. I'm going to continue putting out some more videos and some more content. Um, and yeah, man. And obviously, okay, Kim says always value added. I appreciate you for that. Um, what is it, 12:30? I'm going to log off in a little bit, but I just wanted to come on and really talk about goal setting. I think that that's super important, and it's something that I didn't do early enough in my business career, you know, and I think it's extremely important. It's extremely important as you start to progress in your business. You know, in the beginning, for a lot of us, we're just trying to make money, right? We're just trying to stay in business. We're just trying to pay bills. We're just trying to generate enough interest for us to live day to day. And then you start to get better at what you do. You start to get into that rhythm. You start to really figure things out, right? And when the light bulb really clicks, then it's like, okay, I can really do this on a bigger level than what I'm doing. You know, so that's another thing too. If you follow me, I'm all about really trying to push everybody to think bigger and to operate on a bigger level, right? Why should we just settle for certain numbers, right? Why can't we say I have a big goal that I want to hit and I want to attain, and it's okay to talk about that, right? Um, so I'm just trying to smash as much goals that I've set for myself, and you know I appreciate all y'all for really tuning in. Prince said great insight, Ephraim. I appreciate that, man. But I don't want to keep y'all up too late. I know I'll just keep rambling and talking. But I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna start really giving y'all advance notice before I come on. I'll really start to announce it, so that way, whenever we come on, it'll be more organized, and you'll kind of know when to expect it. But I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later.